right. Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, December 2nd. This is the Westwood School Committee meeting. And at this point in time, I would like to call this meeting to order and starting with attendance. So Charlie
Yes.
Donahue, Maya Plotkin,
Here.
Amanda Phillips, Tony
Here.
Mullen. Okay. Great. Good to have you all here. Appreciate you coming this morning. I know we have another meeting next week, but this will be a short meeting. Before we dive in, though, we want to recognize that this is a live broadcast and that there is public access to all of the school committee activities in accordance with the March 12th, 2020 executive order of Governor Baker. Westwood Media Center is also recording this meeting for later broadcast. All right, so we have one action item today. This is going to be, as I said, a pretty short meeting, but this is an important item. This is, we're looking for a vote today to accept in-kind donation for the Ginkgo, to provide COVID-19 testing for our staff. As you all know, testing has been on our agenda, at least for the last couple of school committee meetings. This has been a topic of conversation. I know that we have our subcommittee who's done an incredible amount of work on this, as has our administration. And so at this point, though, Emily has some information to provide on this free testing and what we have to do in order to get it. So we need a vote today, but Emily, you want to just jump in?
Yes, thanks, Carol. So this is just one piece of the conversation that we've been having about testing. And so what the vote today would do is allow us to provide a one-time free COVID PCR test for all of our staff. And assuming that this moves forward today, our plan would be to work with Ginkgo, which is a biotech company, to provide the test next week. It is a system that involves they're sending us test kits, and then we have our own personnel and nurses collect the saliva samples from our staff members, and then we send the kits off to the lab and receive the results about 48 to 72 hours after
Is
that.
this a, oh, sorry.
So,
It's,
sorry, well, I was just going to say that this is a service that Ginkgo is providing free to K-12 school districts for this one-time test, but because it does have a significant market value, then I'm bringing this issue to the school committee for approval of this in-kind donation.
so what type of test is it? Is it a PCR or a rapid?
It's a PCR test. It's similar to, well, it's similar to what they're doing on college campuses,
Okay.
where the students come in and they provide saliva in a, on a test tube effectively, and then they get their PCR results.
All right. So at this time,
What's been the feedback from the staff? Have they been excited, about this? Has it been communicated or not?
Yes. So in order to get a sense of how many people would participate, we sent out a survey right before Thanksgiving, and so based on that survey, I have told the company that we anticipate needing between 475
So
and
pretty high
500 tests.
percentage. Yeah.
So pretty high percentage. I mean, we have about a little under 600 employees in the district, but a fairly high response rate.
Okay, great.
And so who will actually administer it? Will it be the nurses at each school, or will you be bringing in other staff? How is that going to work?
Yeah. Well, so this particular test doesn't require someone with medical training to oversee it. They have different roles in the system. The role is called, in this case, the test supervisor. So, it has to be somebody who can walk somebody through the process, but they don't have to have a medical degree. What we've decided to do is at the elementary schools, the nurses will be the people running it. It just sort of makes sense operationally. At the middle school and high school, we have two other staff members. Just given the volume of people who will be coming through, we don't want to take the nurses offline for the day. So we have a couple other people who are going to be administering the test. People pre-register through an online portal. We set up 5-minute appointment slots. They come in, there's a process where the company provides a scanner. So you scan a barcode for the sample and it goes directly to their portal.
And do the teachers and staff get the results directly and then have to report to us, or do we also get a copy of the results?
Both. So individuals having registered in this online portal have an account, and their individual result will be sent to them. But then we also designate somebody to get the district results. So in our case, that will be Karen Parita from our COVID team. So she will get a list of any positive results. And then of course, as is always the case, any positive test results have to be reported to public health. And so those would be reported directly.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this is great because I think it can, I know we talk a lot about this, but we can try it. Obviously, the price is right, but it's a good way to kind of, I think, learn from it. And I think to your point, I think more and more companies and schools, it's much easier to do, you know, especially for adults to self-administer, whether that be saliva or nasal. So I think that this is a great way to actually try it out and learn. So thanks for taking part. Thank you for Ginkgo, but thank you for leading this effort.
Well, we'll see what happens. I feel like we will get the results and it will either be very reassuring or, you know, concerning. And then we'll have to figure out what that means. So it will be an interesting process, I think, to see what results from this.
Any
Sorry,
other
one more question. How long does it take to get the results? How long are they saying it's a turnaround?
So we ship them to the lab, and then they said 24 to 72 hours after they receive them in the lab.
Okay.
So we're targeting hopefully Tuesday of next week, but maybe Thursday. I have the last planning call today. So it would either be, you know, the end of next week and perhaps the weekend, or the beginning of the following week.
Okay.
Anything else? All right, so at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the in-kind donation for the Ginkgo testing.
So move.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on this donation? Okay, so let's take a vote. Maya Plotkin,
Yes.
Tony Mullen,
Yes.
Amanda Phillips,
Yes.
Charlie Donahue. And I'm also a yes, so it's unanimous, and the motion to accept that donation has carried. And thank you so much to Ginkgo for providing this service to our staff. It's so important and we really appreciate it. All right, that's it for action items. So we are going to adjourn. And before we do that, I need to roll call for a motion to, well, let's take a motion to adjourn and then we'll do the roll call. It's still early, people.
So moved.
Motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Okay, second? Okay. Amanda,
Yes.
are you in favor of adjourning?
Yes.
Okay, how about Charlie?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Maya? And I say yes. Motion carries. We're out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time this morning. We'll see you soon.
Thanks,
Everybody,
everyone.
have a good day.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.